This week we're going to talk about women that don't want to RV. I know I get a lot of this when I travel. I hear people, and I've seen guys traveling by themselves and they're married and they say that their wives will not travel with them. And sometimes I just can't understand that, but then it got me pondering for some time now, this thing that's going on out in the world where couples decide that they don't want to travel together. And I've heard it a lot, and I haven't just heard it from men, I've heard it from women also. Women who want to camp and want to go traveling with their husbands in RVs, but their husbands refuse to do it. So in this video, I'm going to break down some strategies and some ideas of why I think that is the problem, and maybe it'll help you convince your spouse or your significant other to get on the road with you. I also want to let you know that down in the description box there has been a blog post, a lot of information there, probably more than this video. So if you want more information, you want to get more in-depth, then go to that blog post, because all of this is in there and much more. This video is going to be more related to women, but if you want to know more about men, go to my blog post because I talk more about men there.
Travel the world, so just say yes. Choose to do whatever comes next. Just be brave and come along. I wanna do it all.
Before we start, let's talk about first tent camping, because I think a lot of people who go into this have had bad experiences tent camping, and they see it as the same kind of thing. RV camping is the same kind of thing. So we have to make sure that we kind of show them that it really is not the same thing, because we have the comforts of home within our RV. A lot of people are homebodies, and a lot of the wonderful comforts that they experience at home and also experience it out on the road when they go RVing or camping. So what can you do? What you can do is you can start by showing them the luxuries that RVs are offering right now, where there is some with beautiful bedrooms and beautiful kitchens where they can cook in, and there's also ones that have beautiful bathrooms as well. All of the luxuries that they want, they can have, especially when they're traveling. If you're going to go to RV park, resort styles, there's swimming pools, there's so many wonderful things in RVing that they might start to get a little bit tempted. So make sure that you show them. One of the ways to show them the possibilities, bring them to an RV show, because RV shows are going to have all kinds of RVs. And maybe you might have to compromise here, where maybe you were trying to go a little bit smaller, but they actually want some luxury. So you might have to compensate for what their needs are as well, if they're the kind of person who wants a more luxurious bathroom. So you might have to get a bigger RV. So these are the kind of things that you can come to and bring them to, and let them be a part of choosing what they want. Doesn't mean that you're going to buy something at the RV show, but it kind of gives you an idea of what they're thinking about and what you're thinking about. And so if you're going to buy used, now you have some kind of idea whether you're going to go into a Class A or a Class C or those types of things. So definitely I would recommend making a fun day out of it. Go out to an RV show, have dinner there, walk around, get to know the people, and really get a sense for the community and everything that it offers. So you went ahead and you did all of this work, and hopefully this solved your problem. But fear not. Sometimes these kind of things just don't happen right away. This might take a little bit of coaxing. It might take a little bit of them seeing you get excited about this, but nevertheless, I'm going to give you some ideas as to why I think some people don't want to go RVing with you. Women don't like to be dirty, and that is for most women, especially business women or just regular women. We're not talking about hippie women here. We're talking about regular women. We like to be clean. We enjoy our hot showers. We enjoy doing our hair. We enjoy maybe putting on some makeup and looking nice. For some women, they may think that, you know, this is kind of that hippie lifestyle where they really don't want to look like that. They want to be clean and neat, and they want to feel good about themselves. So it's your job to show them that yes, they can be clean and neat on the road. And that means that if your RV cannot provide those accommodations when you travel, like if you have a van or a build van, you might have to splurge and get her a gym membership, so that every other day or every day you might have to stop into a gym so that she can take her shower. Some women do dislike public showers, so I just want you to know that that may be something that she's not willing to do. And if that is the case, then there's other things that you can do, like go to RV parks. If the gym is not your option, then you might have to settle for going to RV parks more frequently in order to pay for her to have those services. Don't forget that if you do go to RV parks, you're definitely going to want to top off on your tank every single time. Take into account an RV with like a bigger water tank so that you can accommodate the showers that she's going to be taking daily. This might mean having to dump more often, getting to a dump station more often if you're not going to be at RV parks. So there's things that you can do here. Compromise with your partner about what it is, but don't try to change them. That is who they are, because if they're willing to come and you're willing to compromise, and then all of a sudden you try to change the rules in the middle of the game, they're just going to want to go home and they're not going to want to deal with this anymore. So certainly you're going to want to, you know, do what you say and try to work things out. Let's also talk about the menstrual cycle. The women who are menstruating, this is another reason why they don't like to go, because if you're going to be stingy on the water, it's really hard when they have their menstrual cycle to feel clean. So one way that you can alleviate that problem is by getting her a portable bidet. I love my portable bidet, and you just don't use it for number 2. You can also use it for your menstrual cycle and feel really, really clean every time that you go to the bathroom. So I highly suggest that you look into something like that. I'll put links down below for all of the products that I'm talking about in this video. Women like to smell good, they like to be clean, they like their hair to be pretty, likes to get her hair done, and you are off-grid, you may have to invest either in a solar system or, even cheaper yet, solar battery generator, so that you are able to give her the power that she needs, whether it's 500 watts or 1,000 watts. Jackery and some other brands like Go Zero, I think it is, they all provide these type of batteries so that she could do her hair and style her hair and feel clean and feel pretty. So these are some things that you want to sit down and talk with her about, what it is that she doesn't like about. And a lot of times this has to do from experience. So if she's willing to go out with you and then she doesn't want to go anymore, well, it could be that some of these things turned her off, where she felt dirty, where she felt she couldn't get her hair done, those kind of things. So these are things that you definitely want to talk about and realize that these could be some of the problems, and they're so small you can really fix them. There's no problem. Let's talk about social stimulation, because a lot of women like the community that they're in. They might belong to a church group, they might belong to other groups within their community, maybe political groups, and they have all their friends there, and now you're taking them away from that. And some people are very, very social, and you might not be that kind of person. So she's gonna feel like she's just sitting around with somebody who doesn't talk all day. So you have to compromise and make sure that she's getting her social interaction. That means you can go to RV parks and she can meet people there. You're going to have to compromise in maybe letting her invite people over to the RV so that you can have maybe dinner every once in a while. But remember, the other thing you want to do is, if you are going to compromise and let her bring guests to the RV for dinner once a week, don't think for a second that she's going to be doing all the work, because it's never fun to be the maid that's on vacation. And you're going to have to maybe get some takeout, or it's going to have to be like a potluck or something like that, where she's not feeling like she's doing all the work. Now, if she likes cooking, that's a bonus for you if she enjoys doing that, but you want to make sure that she's getting her interaction. As far as churches is concerned, if she belongs to a church and she enjoys going there, this can be another thing that you can also show her and say, look, this is a great thing for us to go visit other churches on Sundays, and put it in your plans, and maybe go to some of those famous churches that you see online, like some of those bigger ministries that you see online but you've never been to. What about making it a point to go there and see, you know, if there is spirit filled there or not? This is a great way for her to also bring that feedback back to her church when she gets back. So this could be another way that you can talk to her about serving her church when she gets back, is going out and being able to talk to other people in different churches. Another thing that women also don't like, they don't like to do laundry in strange places. If you have the convenience of your own washing machine at home, and now you have an RV that doesn't have a washing machine, a lot of women don't like doing that. So I recommend that the easiest thing for you to do is to go to an RV park at least once a week. If you're not going every so often, and make sure that you go to one that has a good laundry facility and ask them, do you have several washers there, and splurge on that so that she can relax and she can do her laundry, maybe take a swim in the pool, and just really enjoy the resort of where you're bringing her so that she can really enjoy this. This time is like a vacation time. For some people, weather can be a really scary situation, and some people might have had traumas. They live in states where the weather situation is always a problem, and for them, they're scared, especially being inside an RV. It's very different because everything is so much louder, and it's much scarier if you get hit by some kind of a storm in an RV. Some people don't like traveling in the cold, and some people don't like traveling in the hot. So this is where you might have to compromise with your significant other. If she doesn't like to do cold weather camping, then you don't go to cold weather camping, or you don't go to places where there's storms during that time of the year. Like, you don't come to Florida in the summertime because we have hurricanes here. So these are just some of the compromises that you're going to have to make as a result of talking with your spouse and getting to know what their needs are. What about the babies? She loves her little babies, and she wants to make sure that they come with her and they enjoy this trip as well. The problem is she might think that you are unreliable. Remember, some RVs, some vans don't have screen doors, and if there's a cat inside, how are you going to keep her pet safe inside of the camper or the van? So make sure that you talk to her about what are the modifications that you can make to the RV or the van in order to keep the pets safely inside. And also, I mean, if you're the kind of person who's unreliable, who's forgetting to leave the door open at home, or forgetting to leave the door open in the car, she might think that the same thing's going to happen on the road and not think that you're reliable in order to protect her pets. So this is another thing that you'll have to think about. She might not want to tell you, but she definitely thinks it. Some women refuse to go because they know what's going to happen. You're going to go camping and you're going to go to a nice RV park, and all of a sudden you're going to invite your family to come over, and the grandkids are going to come, the kids are going to come, and it's going to be a small space, and now you've got all this luggage there and the mess in there, and guess who's going to have to do the cleaning and cooking and organization? It might be her. So this is something that she's definitely not going to want to do, and she's going to live in this environment that is not comfortable for her, and it's stressful for her. So make sure that if you're inviting family members, make sure you think about these things before and you plan ahead as to where they're going to put their luggage, how you're going to fit these people in there. Maybe it's just better for you to go to an RV park where they have like small cabins, and you can park next to the small cabin in your RV, and she can have her private space and you can be with your family. So this is something that you may want to talk about, because it's very stressful for somebody to live in a small space and then have all of these people come over, and it's just really difficult. And if she's the kind of person who's actually the loner type of person, that's going to make it even more difficult for her, where she's not going to get her quiet time and her quiet space. So having the ability for you to have a separate cabin for your family members may just be the way to go. There's also RV parks where you can rent RVs, and then you can park next to them, and then you can both be together, but within your own space. What about romance? Romance is something that as we get older we forget about with each other. So maybe you can try to be a little bit more romantic with her, especially in this part of your life. It's nice to have candlelight dinners in an RV and do little things like that, which is going to make her enjoy cooking dinner for you and spending time maybe in the evening. The soft glow of the RV lighting at night is nice. Maybe some twinkle lights or some pretty lighting in the RV is going to make it a little bit more attractive for her there. You have your quiet time dedicated together, some peaceful quiet time, especially if you have family staying in an RV next to you. You want to have your quiet time as well. Another nice thing to be able to sit and have a dinner together and watch maybe from your window the sunset or the mountain peaks, or listen to the crickets, or watch the sunrise in the morning. So that's another wonderful thing that you're able to do, is to have a little bit of romance. You're going to try to be a little bit more romantic in order to get her to travel with you. What about a hammock? Buying a hammock, especially a two-seater hammock, is great, because when you're camping you can put this hammock out, you can both sit together, maybe relax, read a book, take a nap together. These are the kind of things that are wonderful when you camp, especially with somebody else. Some women don't like bugs like me. I'm the kind of person that they attack me really, really bad. So maybe you might have to invest in a pop-up like gazebo that you can put outside your camper. When she sits outside, she can sit down with this gazebo, or you can have dinner outside with her in the gazebo so she's not getting bit with bugs. There's also mosquito zappers that you can buy. Encourage her to try to come up or make some kind of a natural repellent, and also have some good lighting around the camper. Some women are afraid of spiders or things that might be crawling out at night, so just owning a couple of maybe spotlights around your camper that are focused on the area that you're going to be sitting in. Maybe if you have one of those gazebos, one with a floor so the bugs can't get in from underneath. So these are the kind of things that you might want to think of, but if talking with her, you won't know what the problems are. All right, let's talk about money, because this is another one. Some women are the ones that actually control the money in the household, and they're not going to feel like, you know, it's a good idea to go into debt for a depreciating asset. So that might be one of the reasons that she's telling you no, because she knows that this is just going to be a lawn ornament in the future. How many times have you bought a boat, fixed it up, and left it there? And maybe you might just have to put it off a little bit later on in the future and buy yourself something used and actually fix it up and go through the whole process of accommodating it to suit both of you and the way that you want to travel. Finances is definitely something that you have to discuss with her, and maybe set aside, if you're retired, a little bit of money from your Social Security every month for those travels in the future. All right, and the last one that I have for you today is your attitude. Let's talk about attitude, because some of you people are real complainers. You complain about everything. You're on the road, if somebody cuts you off and you start cussing and cursing, and you get really fired up, and your wife might not like that side of you, and she just doesn't want to have to deal with this. Imagine if you're going to be out in your RV all the time, and she's got to deal with you and your bad attitude. So definitely you have to reflect on your attitude and what you're bringing here, because nobody likes to stress. So you might be the kind of person who's unreliable. She might not feel that you are reliable in a situation where there was an emergency or something happened. She just might feel that you are not reliable, and she doesn't want to put herself under that stress because she knows who you are. So really, you have to reflect on yourself and know what it is that you are going to be bringing to this situation when you travel with her. I mean, can she rely on you, or is it something that she's going to have to handle because you can't do it? Definitely no one wants to be around the grouch. If you can't display patience and positive attitude during your travels, nobody's going to want to travel with you. So those are my suggestions. Go to my blog post. There's more stuff on there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely day. God bless you. I'll have the links below if you want to purchase anything that was mentioned in this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Have you ever dreamed of traveling but don't necessarily want to be alone? Well, now you can join the Ghost Squad Caravans. It's not part of a club, but of a nomadic community where uncommitted bonds are formed, where cliques with clubs can form and introverts or newbies to the group can feel left out. We are different. By connecting with other women during your travels, you can enjoy the uncommitted lifestyle that nomadic traveling provides, with an opportunity for you to fellowship, explore, share adventure, and sit with good company. Ghost Squad Caravans are here to give you a place within a space. This is your life, your choice. Make it your best season yet. We provide emergency contacts, mentoring, support, group connection, and the ability to share those connections. Ability for you to locate your pals and connect with new ones. Encourage, inspire, but most of all to love with godly love within the nomadic lifestyle.